like that's your superpower.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Long time no see. We missed you guys. We missed you guys. Listen.
We have some great.
Very exciting news.
Yes.
We're in a place that you've never seen before, but
we'll get to that in a minute.
We can't start without talking about just some amazing God stories. So we have a family that you guys have been praying for, that we've been talking about, that have been just amazing friends of ours for years, that we have loved them so much, and we've been praying for them, and we've seen God do an incredible work in their lives. When we met them, they would have called themselves atheist agnostics, but then over the years, God would put different people in their lives, and we watched as year by year, month by month, there was transformation. And then recently, they were baptized, and they've given their lives to Jesus.
So the Lucido family that you all have been praying for are now believers, and their two sons, so Anthony and Nicole Lucido just recently were baptized, and then Leo and Carter are soon to be baptized. That's their two sons. And such a blessing. Thank you for being a part of their story that God is weaving. And so we shared videos of their baptism on our Telegram channel, so we'll link that below so that you can see that. If you have not joined our Telegram channel, that's where you can see that. So huge blessing. And
well, I want to tag on to that we've seen, if you look around at what's going on in our country right now, God is obviously doing some pretty tremendous things. We have heard, and I'm sure that you have, if you're looking for it, that you've seen stories of God just knocking people's socks off, doing amazing work, taking terrible things and making them incredible. That the things that Satan meant for evil, he has meant for good. And we've seen it over and over through history, through scripture, and now we have this blessing of seeing it in front of our very eyes, the transformation that comes and the kinds of things that God's doing. So anyway, continue to pray. Let's continue to seek out the work that God is doing around us, and let's continue to celebrate as he makes all things new and just brings about amazing transformation in front of us.
Yes, and don't forget that the seeds that you're planting in others' lives may take years to come to fruition. And the more that you are sowing, when you're sowing Jesus, you will reap Jesus. So, and that's a good segue into exactly where we are today. We are at our garden plot. If you've been on our Telegram channel, you've been seeing some posts about us working in a garden plot. No, this isn't technically our own garden. We are at the Canyon. It is kind of. We're at the Canyon Lake Community Garden, and we had the privilege of being blessed with a scholarship to use this amazing, 4 feet by
40
feet. We'll kind of pan and show you a little bit of it, but just behind us here, it's a large garden plot, and we are so excited. This was an abandoned community garden for about 2.5 years, and they just reopened it not too long ago. And we are getting to form some amazing relationships here at the community garden. People who are believers alongside us, as well as people who are seeking Jesus. And what a great way to plant seeds in others' lives than through gardening.
Through planting seeds.
And I feel like this, you guys know that we've been praying about our vision and our dream of being able to homestead at some point. I feel like God is showing us a place where we can test out some of our skills. And make some mistakes along the way, preparing us for when he does have us on our own land and sharing in the abundance that he's given us. Do you want to share about some of the things that we've been doing over the last few months with this garden plot?
So when we got it, it was just a big dirt plot, and we had gone through the entire process with some amazing ladies that have just kind of walked us through the process. We've taken the dirt and tilled it up and kind of made it in better shape. We've added stuff to it, and then we began growing seedlings at home, and then came and transplanted some of those into the garden. We brought worms. We have some pots where we have been putting worms into the pot and trying to multiply the worms. And did you know that worms and grubs are some of the favorite food of armadillos? And so right in front of us, there's a big fence that surrounds the garden. And there's an armadillo that has been digging a hole in the fence right over here in the fence line.
How many plots are here, do you think?
There's probably 30, between 40 and 50 plots here, would be my guess.
Ours seems to be the favored plot for the armadillo.
No doubt. We've been hit 7 different times. 3 of those times were pretty severe. 4 of them were just kind of a rough scratch. But we just would come in the morning and just see where the armadillo had just basically gone up and down the rows of all of our poor seedlings and plants and dug things up. It's been remarkable.
Yeah, we're working hard to see the armadillos as a blessing because they eat the grubs, which are not good for the plants. But at the same time, it is making it very challenging for us to continue to keep coming up here and seeing everything uprooted and trying to replant or remulch and all the things. So gardening is definitely not for the faint of heart. Those of you who do gardening, you're probably like, yes, I know. Yeah. In fact, we've made one of our amazing relationships we've made is with the president of this community garden, and she is a retired physician assistant turned master gardener. And she has really kind of taken not only me, but our whole family under her wing. I mean, she's old enough to be our mom, and she has been such a blessing. I feel like one of her apprentices. She has invited us over to her home. She has let us see her amazing garden, and she is telling me, as a master gardener, you cannot even consider yourself a master gardener until you've killed 10,000 plants.
Yeah.
So we're on the right track.
We have a ways to go.
Yeah. And you can see behind us, I don't know if you can see, but we have 2 clay pots where we're doing in-ground vermicomposting as well. So we're worm farmers now too. So lots of adventures.
Lots of adventures.
Yes.
We recently also started working through some discipleship material with a group called 1,000 Houses. They do really phenomenal work. We've seen how we've gone through a progression of different ways to do discipleship, and we feel like this has become the next natural step of progression. And one of the things that they do is not only just give you discipleship material, but walk you through the process of what they call putting a seed in the fruit, and how at the end of the time where you've been working through this with them, at the end of the time where you've been working through it with them, then you are on your way to starting your own discipleship group. The goal is that you'll be able to watch one generation after another moving through that process. So
yeah, and if you aren't familiar with this concept, it's a Matthew 28 concept that Jesus commands us as we are his disciples to go and make more disciples. It's not really an option as a believer. It's something that Jesus commands us to do. And even though we have done that off and on throughout the years, when we joined this 1,000 Houses cohort over this summer, we realized that we really could use their organizational tools, and really they have it honed down to, I hate to use the word science, but they really have it kind of fleshed out and worked through all the troubleshooting things. And so Jim and I individually are about to start our own small discipleship groups with 2 or 3 individuals, and we'll be doing life with them, life on life, which is not something we do in the Western culture very much.
Right.
And it may be messy, and that's okay. So if you want to find out more about 1,000 Houses and some of the things that they do, they don't just do discipleship stuff. They also do, their goal is to create 1,000 houses of, their goal is to create 1,000 houses. We should have put it on Do Not Disturb.
Should have put it on Do Not Disturb.
1,000 houses in your community that are doing life together, that are building the kingdom together. And so, so they have 3 different programs through that. And so we were participating in just one of their programs, but we'll link that below because it's a phenomenal program. It works on donation only. So if cost is a factor to you, that doesn't have to be a stumbling block for you. In fact, cost being a factor, we have seen literally over the last 6-7 months, we have seen miracles of provision, and God has really been teaching us to trust Him.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've already been working through that for many years.
Yeah.
But even more so.
Yeah. So as we've kind of gone from one phase to another, we've just seen income in different areas has kind of declined, and we've worked
actually in all areas. In every area that we have built income, it has declined.
I say different areas as in it went in this area, and then it went in this area, and then it went in this area, and then it went in this area. So in every area of income that we've had, we've seen a decline. And so we've tried looking for jobs outside. We've tried finding new work. We've tried starting businesses. We've tried multiple other avenues of supplementing our income, and none of them have worked. It's been quite frustrating at different times, and a lot of sleepless nights trying to stay up and figure out how it is that we're going to buy groceries, pay bills, and do all the little things that are important to a family. But we have seen how through that process, God is teaching. One of the things He's been working specifically with me about is the idea of not moving forward an idea of fear, not making decisions based on fear, but what it means to truly live in faith that God is a God of abundance and provision, that when He calls you His child, He means it, and that He will take care of you. And then we have seen how God has moved through many different circumstances in many different ways to provide for things, whether it be groceries, whether it be it's cool that the boys are doing a co-op where God has just provided for that co-op, where one thing after another, different job opportunities where I've taken just little bits of work here. We've done events here. We've seen God's provision in just miraculous ways, one after another.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the story of manna in the Bible, where the people of Israel were literally relying on daily provision from God for food, and it would come from heaven. That's literally where we've been for at least the last 5 or 6 months. Many days, literally just wondering where our food, literal food, is going to come from, and where the provision will come from with that. And if you've never been in a place like that, it is challenging, yes, but at the same time, there is beauty in it when you have done all of the things that you know to do, and you have been obedient to God, and you trust Him. And God's word says that you have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor begging for bread. And we have seen evidence of that over and over and over. I mean, even literally to yesterday, we were at someone's house. They invited us over for a barbecue, and they literally purposely bought extra food so that we could go home with extra food. I mean, we didn't ask for that. We didn't go looking for that.
Right.
It was a potluck, so we came and brought some food to contribute as well. But yet we came home with multiple meals for our family for the week. So I think to Jim's point is, when is the last time you made a decision not based on fear, but based on trusting God and what He's called you or told you to do? It's a big step. It's a deepening in your faith that maybe you haven't seen before. We had not. Yeah?
Yeah, not in the same way, for sure.
And speaking of our homeschool co-op that we started doing last year with the boys, that it's called Bulverde United, and it's what the boys started last year, just for middle school and high school age students. There's over 200 families a part of it in this tiny little town. Not here in Canyon Lake, but in a tiny little town where you would think there would not be a need, but it is obviously a need.
Yeah.
And it has been such a blessing to our boys. And they wanted to take more classes this year, which more classes means more funds. and you have to prepare ahead of time when you sign up for this co-op. And we really believed that God had told us to do it. And so we signed the boys up in faith, even though we didn't at the time have the funds for that. And we prayed that God would provide. And as the time came, as Jim had been looking for additional work and I had been doing things to build our 3 Life Essentials business, and everything was still dwindling, we were honest with them and told them we don't have the funds to pay this down payment. And those of you guys know, it's like a 1 day a week co-op where they go and take classes, and then the rest of the week I'm working with them or Jim's working with them. And they told us, no problem, pray about it and keep working toward it, and you can pay. They gave us kind of like a free pass for the first month. We thought that was such a blessing, and we continued to work our tails off and pray for provision and ask God to provide different avenues of income, and we continued to see our income dwindle. And we came to them a second time, and we literally were prepared to now try to come up with a plan B. And they came to us again, and they extended grace again. And that had to come from 5 different tutors, 5 or 6 different tutors who said, you know what? Let your boys continue to come, and you pay when you can. And that was such a blessing to our family. So we are continuing to remind our boys what a blessing this is to be a part of, and that they need to behave themselves and be respectful of their tutors. And we're working towards continuing to increase our income so that we can say thank you to those tutors in a proper way.
Yeah. So we're continuing our marvelous trips to Houston. The boys now, Noah is again
to address our airways
to address the airway issues with the orthodontics. And Noah has been told the last 3 times there that he's almost done, he's almost done, he's almost done, and they keep adding things to him.
Praise God that Noah is almost done with all of his airway treatments.
Yeah.
And after he's finished, he will actually just be working with me on some Uteko breathing patterns and some myofunctional things to help him continue to increase the muscle tone with his soft palate and those kinds of things. If you're new to this, we're working on our airway patterns so that our boys are not dealing with some of the same challenges that Jim has dealt with. Jim still continues to sleep in a chair upright at night, and we're still working through Uteko restorative breathing exercises and soft palate exercises and some mindset retraining as well, so that he can feel comfortable and trust the Lord in being able to sleep in the bed again. Do you want to say anything else about that?
It's good.
Okay.
Covered it.
One of the avenues that we used for increasing our income is a sleep series that I did over the summer. It was 7 weeks about sleep, various topics about that. And so we'll link that below. If you are someone that has some challenges with sleep, we cover everything from airway issues regarding sleep, snoring, sleep apnea. We do have one specifically on kids. We talk about leveling up your sleep habits, even with essential oils. So pick a topic that interests you, so we'll link that below as well.
So we, as you know, Texas, it gets a bit warm. And one of the best parts of the place that we're staying, besides the fact that the laundry is included, which is huge, is that there's a pool right there. And so our boys have been able to go anytime they want to, within reason. We've been able to go and hang out at the pool. We have friends that have come and played, and it's been just an amazing blessing and opportunity for them to go to splash, to stay cool. And if you're a parent, you know that being in the pool is one of the best ways to get the energy out of your kids, especially when they have some friends that are wrestling and playing chicken with them. You remember the chicken stacking kids up on top of each other games, and so
yeah. Those of you in Texas, you'll know the value of having access to a pool for 3 teenagers that we have in the house now. Speaking of, I'll just jump to this was a big birthday year for us. Those of you who know, all 3 of our boys have birthdays within a week. They're all in the same week. Well, obviously the twins are in the same week. That's the same day, but but all in the same week. So we usually celebrate together, and all 3 of them had big birthdays. Noah turned 16 a few weeks ago, and the twins turned 13. So we have a household full of teenage boys now, and everything that you think of that comes with teenage boys, including the smell in 400 square feet,
and the primping,
and the
attitude,
and the amount of food that they're eating, all is true.
It's true. We can verify. Can
So
verify.
It was great to be able to celebrate their big days. And no, Noah does not have his license yet. He actually has not even started getting his permit yet. We're hoping to work toward that soon.
Yeah.
So, I feel like this whole year has been a theme of tragedy and death. And that has been true. If you follow us on our Telegram channel, you've seen that we've had not only the tragedy of the floods that came through. We live right near the Guadalupe River, which is where all of the flooding happened. We live on the lower end, or we're parked on the lower end of the Guadalupe, where most of the things that happened were on the higher end. But there's been a lot of tragedy surrounding that. Still recovery efforts with all of that happening, and the tragedy of a good friend of ours that passed away suddenly in Northern California. We so had wanted to be a part of that memorial service, and what a blessing it was for us to be able to attend from afar.
Yeah.
But Jim had officiated this husband and wife's wedding, and the husband passed away, and they have 2 small children. So if you think about lifting up Rachel Davis and her 2 children, Willow and Wyatt, who's now a widow. The whole nation grieved the passing of Charlie Kirk's event. And so there's just been a lot of heaviness surrounding this whole year. And even more of a reason that we have seen the good that God is bringing through these tragedies, like in our friends, the Losito family.
Yeah.
So we want to leave you with a couple of challenges of some things that we have started over the last few months, and we invite you to join us. So
we have in the past tried a couple of different areas of helping our family work better. One of the things that the 1,000 Houses group talks about quite a bit is a weekly family meeting, and they gave a formula that we've been able to follow for that family meeting that we have found to be exceptional and very helpful, in many ways. And so it's been a real blessing for us. We started doing a family meeting then about, how long ago? 2 months ago? 3 months ago?
Well, kind of like the 1,000 Houses. We've done family meetings like off and on throughout the years.
Yeah.
But this was so much more intentional.
Yeah.
And more organized. And so we've been doing those probably over the last maybe 6 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
And they've been so valuable to our family, whether you have little ones or whether you have even grandkids and you have adult children. This is for you.
Yeah, the formula really talks about not only that a family meeting is to address things that are going on in your calendar, different activities, but then also casting vision. And it gives an idea, a model for how to cast vision to your family and your kids in particular, so that everybody is on the same page. It seems like a very small detail, but the way that you do that has a big impact and plays out in a lot of different ways through the behavior of your children and your ability to refocus people and say, hey, remember how we talked about what we were going to do. And it's just a good reminder throughout the week about different things that are going on in your family and how to keep everybody moving in the same direction. And it really does bring about a team feel for the family so that you can feel like your family is a team moving in the same direction with the same goals. That's one of the big things that they talk about.
Yes. Speaking of, we're going to link some of those podcasts to that so that you can know more about this. But that podcast, Family Teams Podcast, is all about being a multi-generational family team on mission.
It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that resonates with you, maybe you see yourselves as a family team, or maybe you just see yourself as a family, or maybe you see yourself on mission, but are you multi-generational? And so if that resonates with you, we invite you to not only check out the podcast, but we'll link below the ones specific to the family team meetings. And we invite you to join us in those. And we want to hear back from you. When you start your family team meetings, we want to hear how it's going.
Yes.
Ours are going pretty well.
When we're able to do that.
The last few weeks we've failed, but it's been really good.
The timing of them is typically we have it scheduled, but then for various reasons we've had things going on during that time. So, but they've been tremendous, and it's something we highly recommend. Well, one of the other things that we picked up recently has been taking a Sabbath rest, doing Shabbat as a family. And for us, what that has meant is that Friday sundown through Saturday sundown, there's no work in the house. The boys celebrate that they don't have to do dishes, and that is the largest celebration for the boys.
Yeah.
But we have been, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but I have been so amazed at how it resets my mind and my body, and I could tell those weeks that we didn't do the Sabbath versus the ones that we did, the difference in my energy levels, my focus, my attention, my drive, it all is very different on those weeks where there is a Sabbath, that we have a distinct Sabbath that we hold to has been really remarkable.
Yeah, and even though we're seeking to be more intentional about a Sabbath, we are not so focused on making it where it is a legalistic kind of thing, if that makes sense. Because the Bible says, in fact, Jesus said that
Sabbath was made for the man and not the man for Sabbath.
Sabbath was made for the man and not the man for Sabbath. So it's meant to be a gift, a blessing to you. And we have seen that over and over. And so you can see more about celebrating Shabbat or even doing a family Sabbath on the Family Teams podcast as well. So we'll link that below. And do you want to end with a video of do you want to pan over to the garden at all? Yeah,
how about we'll try to tie one in and let's just do a walk. Let's do a walk real fast.
All right.
You ready, guys?